right. Hi everyone, I'm here today with Franzi. Her name on social media is Travel Comic. She's from Germany and she lives in Turkey. She's also she's an introvert and she travels around the world. How many countries have you been to, Franzi?
That's a really good question. Maybe around 60? Yes.
60? Wow, I didn't even know that. What is an extrovert and what is an introvert? So in your opinion, what is an introvert? Something like in two sentences.
Introvertive actually means that you need a lot of time recharging by yourself. So you need a lot of alone time. And whenever you are with other people or with people that you don't know very well, then it takes a lot of your energy. This is why we feel most comfortable in our safe spaces, like at home or wherever we feel comfortable. I think for extroverts, it might be the opposite. What do you think?
I recharge my energy from being around people. I mean, for me, I can't speak for everyone, but sometimes I feel this ache to meet new people, like to be around, like go to a restaurant, a coffee shop, for a walk, a bar. Sometimes I feel like a dog that needs walking.
Like, for example, during Corona times, do you ever feel lonely because you cannot go out?
Yeah. When did you realize that you're an introvert?
There I have a short story. I was a child and my parents always sent me to these summer camps where we would hang out with other children. And one day another child came to me, looked me into my eyes and said, "You are the shyest person I've ever met in my life." And this was when I was like, oh my God, I didn't notice that I was so shy. I mean, I knew I was shy, but I didn't know that I was that shy, that another kid would come to me and say this, you know. And also introverted people, we always get to hear the question, why are you so quiet? Why don't you talk? Or like these questions, you know, you ask these people.
And it's annoying?
It's super annoying because I have so many things I want to talk about, but if you are in a conversation with other people around you, as an introvert, you feel like you need an icebreaker for yourself as an introvert. So before the conversation starts, I always try to open the conversation or to add my part at the beginning so that I feel more comfortable towards the conversation.
Back
otherwise,
later.
Yeah, otherwise I always feel like, oh my God, I didn't say something for 5 minutes. Now it's too late. It would be awkward to start saying something, you know.
You're overthinking it. 100%. Nobody is like timing you. And if you want to say something that you want to share, you should just go ahead and do it. Do you think it's possible for an introvert to turn into an extrovert?
Oh my God, to turn into an extrovert. It's definitely true that every introvert wants to be an extrovert. Like inside of us, we don't want to be shy or we don't want to be only by ourselves. We also want to go outside and meet as many people as possible. So I would say that every introvert is kind of studying extroverts' behavior, and we are trying to understand how you behave, and we kind of try to adopt these extrovertive personality traits, but it doesn't mean that it changes it doesn't change our personality. Yes, introverts can act like extroverts, but it takes a lot of our energy. What about like extroverts? Like, did you ever feel like, wow, I wish I would be a little bit more introverted in this situation?
100%, because I had to learn to like being alone and staying at home, not doing much. Because I feel like I had this need to always see people and be around people, and sometimes that's not good and it's not in our benefits, you know. Sometimes it's better to stay at home, do some work, do some reading, and be comfortable with that. So I actually had to train myself. Building on what you said, I do think that we have certain personalities that we're just, you know, kind of born with, and that doesn't change drastically, but you can change it a little bit. You can practice. And I, as an extrovert, can become a little bit more introverted, or you know, be more comfortable with staying at home on a weekend. And meanwhile, I think an introvert can become more comfortable being around people. Does your personality affect or improve your language learning? What do you think?
Oh, I definitely think it affects my language learning because as an introvert, we don't we don't prefer to talk a lot to strangers, especially when you are in a new country where you want to learn the language. It's very hard for me to open up and be confident about the language mistakes that I naturally do at the beginning of learning a language. So right now I'm here in Turkey and I'm learning Turkish, but still whenever I'm in conversation with someone, I prefer to switch to English, even though I know I could do it in Turkish. Yes,
No,
and
don't do that.
yeah,
You're in Turkey.
I
Take
know
advantage of that.
I know
Speak
it's the
Turkish.
worst thing ever. And I'm living together with my flatmate. We came to Turkey together. She's an extrovert and she speaks fluent Turkish and I don't.
A language's purpose is communication. So the best way to practice it is by actually communicating with people. And that could be in person or online. So yeah, I do think that the extroverts have a little bit more of an advantage because they are more willing to practice speaking with other people. You should work on that. I know you can do better. By the way, you don't come off as a shy person at all. Not to me. Like you say it, but I don't see it.
Yeah, that's another thing about introverted people. We know how to mask and we know how to behave or how to act as a non-introverted person. So, like this takes a lot of energy and I don't know, I enjoy being extroverted as well. So I enjoy like being loud and I don't know, talk about stuff. But after this, I know I need my alone time and I need to recharge.
So as a German person living in Turkey, do you feel like, and you've traveled to 60 countries, do you feel like a culture can be a little bit more introverted or extroverted?
Yes, definitely. So I think it's something like it's obvious in some countries. For example, Latin countries or also Middle Eastern countries, they're very social people, very open also for like tourists and foreigners. So for me, when like I feel like in Turkey they have a strong community feeling, which we do not have so much in Germany. So in Germany, people are more by themselves and everyone minds their own business, right? But here in Turkey, people talk about other people, the neighbors know each other, even the whole street knows who has corona, who doesn't, and stuff like that. So people talk with each other, and whenever I go somewhere, like people are greeting me and trying to have a talk with me, chatting with me. So as an introvert, I feel sometimes a little bit overwhelmed, especially because of the language barrier. But yeah, I just have to throw myself into it and play along with the rules here. So it's definitely a lot more fun, but I would definitely say that cultures can differ, like cultures can be introverted or extroverted oriented.
Yeah.
And Turkey is definitely like more extroverted.
Do you like it better? I know you said it could be
I
overwhelming, but I feel like, you're putting yourself out of your comfort zone. So do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I absolutely enjoy it because nobody's forcing me to anything, but I really love like this community feeling and talking to strangers that become your friends afterwards. So I think
Nice.
it's a great culture, and this is why I love living here.
Awesome. Glad to hear.
How is it like? How is it in Canada? Do you ever feel like? Do you feel like it's an extroverted or introverted oriented culture?
Good question. I have not thought about it for Canada for whatever reason. So Canada, I feel like it's more of an individualistic society, but people are really nice. And North Americans in general, so Americans, Canadians, are both very open to conversation. So if I'm in an elevator and I see people like, about that weather, or I can be like, I can immediately start a conversation about anything, and they would generally be welcoming to it.
Asking extroverts, how can you share everything you feel with others?
if I'm trying to make sense of something and I kind of like run it by a number of people, be like, this and this happened, or what do you think of this and this? And then I come to my conclusions. How do you just go out and ask people out? Have you asked someone out before? Or did you go to a group of people and be like, hey, I'm Franzi, I'm from Germany?
Like on a date, or what do you mean?
Yeah, well, I'm both. So ask someone out would be on a date. So did you ever like approach someone and be like, hey, want to go out? Not in those words.
No, not like that. But I prefer, like, let's say I see someone in a cafe and I really like this person. I just write them a note and give it to them. I would never approach them directly, so I would always give them something written. This is what I once did. But other than that, I don't really ask people out. Yeah, and if I do that with strangers, I always ask them in a written form, like with a chat or text.
Why do extroverts not let other people talk, especially introverts? They don't let them take part in a conversation. Do you agree with that?
That, like, let's say we are in a group conversation, and extroverts don't let us talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This happens all the time.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't agree with this because I feel like they're kind of like attacking a little bit, because nobody has a sign that says I'm an extrovert or I'm an introvert. So extroverts are not talking over the introvert necessarily, but maybe you're just not talking as an introvert.
Yes, introverts hate talking over someone, and in a group conversation, like when extroverts are around, like in a conversation, you have to talk over someone to say something. Otherwise, the other person will never stop. And in a group conversation, it's super hard for introverts to get our words out, because there mostly will not be a quiet moment, or if we say something in a group conversation, all the attention would be on us. So it must be something very valuable that we have to say. And yeah, it's just very hard for us, because I don't know, I feel like people don't give us enough space sometimes. But yeah, it's our own fault, I guess.
Definitely, to be a good conversationalist, like it's good quality to be able to read the room and see if someone is a little bit shy and kind of give them that opportunity to talk. So like for example, I'm a teacher, and if I see a student that isn't speaking, then maybe I like, you know, pick on them, like, hey, what do you think about this? Did you get that? So you give them that opportunity to speak. But definitely, like, also introverts, maybe they should be putting themselves a little bit more out there. If they want to share, they won't be speaking over someone else. If anything, people might appreciate them talking. Otherwise, you won't get sentences like, why are you so quiet, right? So people do expect you to talk. What is something that you wish more people knew about introverts? There's something else that we didn't address.
I mean, we talked about quite a lot of stuff, but I just wish that other people would understand that don't push us to talk and don't ask us why we are so quiet, because we like to, or we prefer to listen, think about stuff, and then talk. And also, I wish that in general, things, like, I feel like the world is made for extroverts, so we are always expected to be loud, to be charismatic. We're expected to ask other people out, or I don't know, to share our ideas, which is great. But I feel like sometimes we also have like a lot of introverted personalities in this world, and I wish there would be like more things for introverts. Let's look at the school system, for example. Like in Germany, we get like the teacher, how do I say it? They score us, or they...
Yeah. They
they
grade
grade
us.
us, yeah.
They grade us.
They grade us about how active we are during the class. And as an introvert, it's very, very hard to always like, ask questions or always be like so engaging. I think this is what I wish the world like considers about.
Yeah.
I wish that the world thinks more about introverted people as well.
There's also way too many problems with the school education system, and that's like for a whole other topic. But I do feel, and like this is perfect for a conclusion, I do feel like extroverts and introverts both have their strengths and weaknesses, and we were made to live with each other. And actually, a lot of times extroverts and introverts bond because they make up for the qualities that the other person lacks. We're a team. I hope you've enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about both extroverts and introverts. And if you, how about you say a few words in Turkish? Like, if you like this or if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe and check out my work. And I travel. This will be a fun challenge for you. It'll be more fun.
Tamam, çok teşekkürler herkese. Lütfen beğen ve abone ol.
Teşekkür ederim. All right, thank you, Franzi.
So much for having
Check out her channel.
It was a lot of fun. Yes, see you next time.
Bye.